Thank you for tuning in to this Phantom video where we will cover multi-tenancy capabilities in the Phantom platform. To configure multi-tenancy, you will navigate to the administration page. Go to Product Settings and then the Multi-Tenancy tab. You'll see a checkbox that says Enable Multi-Tenancy. Once you've checked the box, you can configure the default system tenant by specifying a name and contact details for the default tenant. Here you can see the default tenant that we just created is listed in our tenant listing page. Let's go ahead and add new tenants to this page. Start by entering the tenant name, in this case tenant ABC, the tenant description, and the tenant contact details. The status you can leave set to enabled. We'll go ahead and add additional tenants, tenant DEF. And finally, we'll add one last tenant, tenant XYZ, to complete the list. All tenants are now listed on our tenant listing page. Next, we will configure apps and assets for specific tenants. To make this configuration, navigate to the app listing page. Once on the page, select the app that you want to configure an asset for. In this case, we'll go with VirusTotal. You'll notice on the right-hand side there's a Tenants tab where you can select which tenants this asset can be used for. Here, we're selecting all of the tenants that we had just created. Next, let's configure a firewall asset. We'll select the Palo Alto Network's firewall, but with something like a firewall that is very specific to one tenant, we may only select one tenant to be used for this asset. Our next step will be to configure playbooks. On the playbook listing page, you have now a column that shows which tenants are enabled for which playbooks. Let's go ahead and add a playbook for a particular tenant. Once in the playbook editor, navigate to the playbook settings. In playbook settings, you have labels for which the playbook will operate on and also tenants. Here we'll select tenant ABC and tenant DEF for this playbook. Now we will give this playbook a name and go ahead and save the playbook. Now we can navigate back to our playbook listing page and filter down the listing just to a particular tenant and see that our sample playbook is now available for tenant ABC and DEF. Next, we will navigate to the analyst queue, which gives you a view of all events across all tenants with the capability of filtering. Here, we're going to apply filters on the events where we view only events associated with tenant ABC as well as tenant DEF. I can take advantage of all of the other columns in this view as well by applying filters to particular owners, status, severity, labels, sensitivity, or any other column that you see on the analyst queue. Now let's clear all of the filters and return to our dashboard. The Phantom dashboard will show automation metrics across different data sources, users, and tenants. You can filter the dashboard view down to a particular tenant or all tenants. Here you can see all of the platform metrics associated with tenant ABC. You can view these metrics over a particular time period. Right now it is set to over the course of this year. However, you can filter it down to a day, this week, this month, or any other time period. The last item to show in this demonstration are SLAs that can be set on a per tenant basis. Navigate to the administration menu, specifically the product settings and the response tab. Within this page, you can add tenant-specific SLA settings that will override the default SLA settings. This is helpful to service providers who are managing different SLA requirements for different customers. We hope you found this multi-tenancy demonstration very useful. If you're interested in using the Phantom platform, feel free to join our community at our community site my.phantom.us. Thank you.